more than 50% of the architects are women. The electrician or the carpenter or the actual workman is not going to get replaced by AI.
Correct.
AI will not understand, or rather yet to understand fully about the human psychology. As an end user, everybody has to be cautious as to what materials are you going for. It's not just the beauty aspect that is there. I mean, I work from the labor who is like maybe third or the fourth standard pass. Very initial stages of his experience, and somebody is a client who is maybe like 1,000 crore and all that. In that range, if you're working and there is a respect, if I am giving the person the respect, so I expect the same. And if it's that chemistry or that camaraderie is not there between the client and me, how can I serve him? Because a lot of things are involved when you are buying a home.
Hello everyone and welcome to our podcast. Today we have an amazing guest with us, architect Sonali Gandre from Avishkar Designers. So let's welcome her.
Thanks for having me here.
So what prompted you into this field? Like what was your initial thought? Schooling mein, college mein, when did you think ki nahi, I want to become an architect?
Actually, it started when we were planning to shift to our own house, and we started interacting with the architect and all that. तभी पता चला कि ओके ऐसा भी कोई फील्ड है इंजीनियरिंग और डॉक्टर्स के अलावा कि जहाँ पे बीइंग एन हैविंग एन इंक्लिनेशन टुवर्ड्स ड्राइंग, आई वाज गुड एट क्राफ्ट एंड ड्राइंग एंड ऑल दैट कि ओके दिस कैन बी डन. तो 12th स्टैंडर्ड के बाद एक्चुअली में थिंग्स वर नॉट एज डिफिकल्ट एज दे आर नाउ. हमारे जब 12th स्टैंडर्ड के वक्त दे हैड जस्ट रिसेंटली इंट्रोड्यूस्ड द एंट्रेंस एग्जाम्स एंड ऑल दैट. तो वो फॉर्चुनेटली I got into the good colleges and the journey began. बट जब शुरू किया तब आर्किटेक्चर सिर्फ वर्ड पता था कि जो आर्किटेक्ट बन जाता है उसका एक्चुअली काम क्या रहता है वो जाते जाते समझा. उसको लगभग 5 साल के ऊपर लग गए.
आफ्टर कंप्लीटिंग योर आर्किटेक्चर डिग्री, सो this must be at least about 15-20 years back?
25 years.
25 years back, amazing. So after, if I take it from now, it's 25 years back. And there was no mobile, there was no really way to communicate, and being one of the probably the first few women in the field, how was it?
No. We are in India, we are quite fortunate कि we are a lot of women architects.
Okay.
Actually it is said even now, more than 50% of the architects are women. So it's very nice to do that. In fact, my role model or my mentor when in college, our thesis guide was a woman and a very rock solid woman. I started working also with one of the lady architects. So that was a great experience for me. So initially I wasn't, I did not start on my own. I ventured on different fields, and I actually started working into interiors as well as an architecture field. So I am not into something that you see large high rises or something like that, like most of the architects working with say builders and developers are doing.
Right.
So most of it is and also I'm a design architect, so that's also one of the added advantage, or rather a chosen path you can say. Instead of getting into the licensing part, जैसे government approvals होता है, या the drawings, licensing drawings का एक पैटर्न ही अलग रहता है. Instead of getting into that, I preferred choosing interior designing.
Okay.
So that was another one. So commonly asked question जो मुझे हमेशा रहता है कि क्या फर्क है architecture और interior.
So that would probably be one of the questions I had in my mind.
Yes. So architecture is basically more of the outside building कि कैसे होगा. तो वो अगर एक सिनारियो में बैठा जाए, या सिटीस्केप जो कहते हैं, उसमें अगर एक बिल्डिंग बिठानी है तो दैट्स आर्किटेक्चर. सो दैट्स आर्ट एंड डिज़ाइन. सो वो आजू बाजू के बिल्डिंग्स कैसे हैं, ये क्लाइमेट कैसा है, उसके हिसाब से वो बिल्डिंग को डिज़ाइन किया जाता है, सजाया जाता है, बिठाया जाता है. सो टू गिव यू एन एग्जांपल, अगर हमने डिज़ाइन किया है, मानो बम्बई में, मुंबई में अगर हम लोग डिज़ाइन कर रहे हैं, तो वो एक अलग इंटीरियर्स होने वाला है या आर्किटेक्चर होने वाला है, मोर देन इन से मे बी राजस्थान और मे बी वाराणसी और मे बी बैंगलोर और मे बी
So climate also plays a very important factor.
Climate plays a very important role. जहाँ पे आर्किटेक्चर होता है. अगर इंटीरियर्स की बात करें तो हम लोग घर में रहते हैं या जहाँ पे रहते हैं तो इंटीरियर्स का माहौल कैसा है, दैट अगेन इज गवर्न अ लॉट बाय द क्लाइमेट एंड ऑल दैट. तो दैट इज इंटीरियर्स. सो इंटीरियर्स का मज़ा अलग रहता है और आर्किटेक्चर का मज़ा अलग रहता
So
है.
you're more inclined towards interiors?
Yes, I am more inclined towards interior architectures. तो आर्किटेक्चर करते करते इंटीरियर्स भी आ गए. So that is how the entire journey has been.
So, what kind of clients do you prefer? People with bungalows? You like you want to design an entire building, or you would prefer like smaller houses now? What is the trend right now in Mumbai?
Yeah, so basically, doing a bungalow, like recently I did a bungalow in Goa as well. So, and the client had shifted from Mumbai to Goa, for a permanently shifted there. So something called as a smart living that has come into the being. So like, basically in the living rooms, people want a smart living approach. And in the kitchens, they are going a little age behind, so they are looking out for more natural eating areas, so earthen pots and cast iron vessels and all that. So it's an amalgamation, and I like that amalgamation and to the fullest.
Okay.
So that's the beauty of it, is what I would say, and I'm blessed to be in this field that I can actually experience that. So when you're talking about a smart living, if you are, say, maybe having a senior citizen or very young kids and all that, so there is something called as you want to move out, so you can get that aspects of the digital locks or the cameras or viewing them and having a stress free vacation if you are you have the senior citizens at home, or your kid is alone at home, or you're getting for some reason he's getting locked. So you have all these technologies now which you can definitely utilize it for the best of the thing. So that's a good part of it, or supposedly, I mean, the kitchen, for example, now we are moving towards the stage wherein the refrigerator will tell us कि ये सामान खत्म हो गया है and you need to order. So it's an amalgamation,
Right,
I mean, at one point I'm using an earthen pot and yet I'm getting that smart thing to utilize. So it's a great thing. So it's very nice when a client that comes to you is expecting that, he's moving forward,
Right.
keeping the roots, so he knows what he wants. So fortunate for me, I mean, of course education is important, you need to tell the clients that this is possibility, this
Right.
you can go to that extent. So once that is done, there are now clients who are coming up that okay fine, let's explore this aspect. So it is not just कि वो remote से curtains use किए या light चालू किए, वो तो है ही. Now this is going much beyond that.
Correct. So
And
it's like
that's a beautiful
even AI is coming into
Yes.
modern living.
Yes. So people can stay in the rural areas, with the fun part, build that, grow their own vegetables and do that, plus a smart living. So
Right.
what more can you ask for? So that's wonderful.
So this AI brings one question to my mind. There are a lot of these AI tools and softwares that come in, that have come in, that is trying to either assist or replace people.
True.
So I'm sure there must be something for in the architecture or interior field as well, right? There must be some AI
Oh,
tool or something.
yes, there-
So do you feel there are jobs of interior guys and architects are at stake?
There fortunately is a fear factor. Why I'm saying fortunately is very particularly because of that, now the younger generation is now venturing and they are going a step further. Even at my age, people are now learning that. So that's a good part, you're moving forward. If you say about cutting down on the job market or something like that, the ones who are upgrading themselves will definitely see a different aspect altogether. It might be something that, ki they won't have to think so much. But at the same time, the electrician or the carpenter or the actual workman is not going to get replaced by AI.
Correct.
So the curriculum, the architecture or the design curriculums need to go a step further, and they have to teach their students these skill sets as well. So when I'm talking about skill sets, it's not just actually handling the tools and all that. Yes, that is important. But उसके साथ स्टूडेंट्स को ये भी समझना चाहिए कि इसका मनूवर कैसे कर सकते हैं. यू नो डिज़ाइन में अगर आप देखो लाइक इलेक्ट्रिकल आस्पेक्ट में, इलेक्ट्रिकल फील्ड में, इन टर्म्स ऑफ लाइटिंग एंड ऑल दैट, there's a lot of revolution that is happening even in terms of the construction technologies and all that. तो ये स्टूडेंट्स को पता होना ज़रूरी है. तो ये अमालगमेशन के साथ अगर करिकुलम भी बढ़ता है तो स्टूडेंट्स को भी वो लेवल पे आना ज़रूरी है कि ये करना है. सो देन थिंग्स विल बी बेटर. एंड ऑफ कोर्स देयर विल बी अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स दैट हैज़ टू बी एक्सप्लोर्ड. थोड़ा डर रहना चाहिए so that you work further home. That's how.
But completely replace नहीं होगा. That's what you
नहीं
think.
होगा because घर पर तो रहना ही है लोगों को. अभी तक तो मचान में रहना नहीं शुरू हुआ है.
Right.
Yeah.
So you mentioned students have to learn this. So are you also planning to teach? Do you teach? Are you like how are you trying to help the upcoming
Thank you
generation
so
for
much.
the
Thank you so
into
much
this
for
field?
asking that question. Yes, I do have a lot of inclination towards education. I have been part of the SNDT curriculum. I have done some design thinking programs, and I take up entrepreneurship development for the students, especially. Making them understand the importance during the college years only to how should they get connected to the industry ASAP. Not waiting for the graduation. Fortunately, the world outside is also open for the youngsters. I mean, you just need to be 18 plus, and you have to be that curious person who wants to learn new things. So yes, my inclination has always been towards students, and my age group, my favorite age group to teach is from 16 to 24. So all these thing is because they are the budding people, and you can actually do that. So we are working. I'm blessed, or rather, I've got an opportunity to speak to almost 1,000 plus students.
Wow.
To tell them the importance about not just sticking to their program. There is much more, and the time's coming in the next 2 years, 4 years. It's mandatory for them. If not compulsory, they have to know more than 2 fields. So, see, you take up engineering, any sort of engineering. Along with that, if you are inclined towards a psychology, it's a brilliant combination. So, even if you are, say, taking up designing, so with designing, you need to know something else. So
design also along with psychology or human behaviors.
Yes, because it is all human driven now.
Correct.
AI will not understand, or rather yet to understand fully, about the human psychology. So it is still with the humans. So we need to know that. We need to go deeper inside and find out what are that finer aspects. How can you serve better to the people around? Whatever field you are in, you be it even in the real estate aspect, when you are giving your home, or making them see the aspect, you need to know as to what is the kind of person, or that 5 years down the line, how will it happen, how will it change, and all that. So that aspect has to be there. Each and every person needs to know about that aspect.
Right. So relating it back again, the design elements to real estate. Now there is a lot of talks about sustainability. How do you visualize this, and how do you feel that these things can be incorporated in a regular, let's say an apartment in Mumbai or a second home in Goa?
Frankly speaking, the word sustainability has got various meanings to the entire field of design, field of architecture or interiors. What happens when it's basically stage wise as to how it will be impacted. To give you an example, if it's a commercial building or even a residential buildings, nowadays you see, say, look at Mumbai buildings that are there. You'll just see the glass facades.
Right.
Actually speaking, as per the if you look at the sustainability of the building, residential building should be adhering to the climate. Okay,
right.
Which does not, especially in Mumbai, does not ask for the glass facade as much as it asks for deeper balconies. Okay, so if you remember going in the early the promenade of say the Mumbai that was earlier, we used to have long verandas
Correct.
or deeper windows or balconies, which were the actual aspects considering the Mumbai rains. You know, so nowadays, as you go higher and higher, you have to consider a lot of aspects when you are building a a commercial building or a residential building. The weather aspects, of course, there is a technology that has come, which you just run a data and you get a lot of information about it. So all these aspects have to be amalgamated when you are doing that to achieve the sustainable part. So sustainability comes is in terms of the design, in terms of the materials that are used, the concrete mix that is used, or the colors, even the paints that are used inside.
Right.
When you're talking about the interiors, how do you do that? When we go a little further as to what kind of materials that you're going, there is something called as a low VOC paints that we are utilizing, or the furniture that is there. So as much as less, if we go for a PVC materials, which is actually rampant right now, if you're minimizing the utility of it, any house is again gonna leave, or rather release, those elements are going to release a lot of gases. So you're
Oh.
gonna have a lot of health issues. You might have a lot of, especially the breathing issues and all that stuff. So as a designer, as a end user, everybody has to be cautious as to what materials are you going for. It's not just the beauty aspect that is there.
Right.
Finally, it is all we as a human being who are living in and experiencing that place. You are staying there overnight, your kids are there, your elderly people are there. So all these aspects are the final elements that as a designer, as an end user, you need to be cautious. It's not just the plastic ones and yes, it is great. No, it's not like that. As you are using an earthen pot or a vessel like that, that aspect also needs to happen in terms of material utility. That's where the sustainability part comes actually into picture, as to how can it be taken further. Utilizing, nowadays you will see a lot of bamboo that is coming into picture, or the rattan sheets and all that. Yes, that's a great advantage. That's a great element to be utilized.
Right.
So there are such experiments that are happening, amalgamation and research and all that, in terms of that, giving a new look for the older materials. So we need to go further, do the research every time, and understand that.
Coming back to a very simple, basic question, like if I buy a house, or anybody and any of the viewers buys a house, why should they employ a designer
That's a good question.
and not do it yourself? Like, so this was one reason. Your answer to the previous one kind of led me to this, because you mentioned that what kind of material, even though if it is plastic, it releases some kind of gases. What are the other factors? So this is one, definitely. And now I would probably definitely think that.
Earlier, during the when people used to build houses, it used to be without any consultants as such. Especially when you're, say, building in a villages or something like that. You know what used to happen? All the people from the village will come. Now tomorrow, all of us will come and build your home. When I am building, all of you will come and build my home.
Okay.
So the materials used to be local. The entire construction technology used to be the local technology. They were aware about the climate, how it has to be done. The layout used to be almost similar. So all that was very cohesive. These are the elements that are there. This is how the external surface would be. And imagine that parting time, they all used to go together and they had that time to do that.
Right.
I mean, how good can it be? Like, it's amazing to do that.
Amazing.
But as time has progressed, what has happened, people have been more and more outside, busy, in their offices, walking into a lot of things and all that. And the this human aspect of somebody else coming and telling you has to be extended beyond. Okay. Because every family now has its own pattern. I mean, if you are staying in an apartment, the person or the family staying adjacent to your apartment has a different lifestyle. Okay, and you have to honor that. You cannot say that that's a wrong pattern of living or something like that. So as a designer, that plays a very important role. So I, as a person, as an interior expert, it's my duty to understand how is that pattern and how can that lead to a good design for him. You know, for giving you an example, there could be certain families who love to host a lot of parties.
Right.
So their living room or their kitchen, their storing pattern, the way their sitting arrangement is, you know, the use of colors, everything will be different. Will be as per that.
Right.
But there could be some another adjacent person who will, you know, there's a very quiet family. They are into a lot of reading. They have, they might have some book clubs or something like that, which is a rare thing. But they have a lot of book storages. Their pattern is totally different. They like those quieter zones.
Yeah.
So their pattern has to be done like
And
that.
somebody likes a bar, so
Yes, exactly, exactly. So, as a designer, so you have to be aware.
Right.
You need not be judgmental about it. So yes, so what they are into. I am not here to tell them, to coach them to do this or this is right or this is wrong. I can just suggest to them that let us enhance that element and utilize it to the optimum level. Their existing premise. How can you do that? That's where the expert's role come into play.
right.
Finally, the end user is the one who can give the best answers. The role of the expert is to ask the right questions. So that's the beauty of it.
Something like AI, right?
Yeah.
So ask the
Yes.
right questions
Yeah,
and
you
you'll get the
need
right
to know.
answer.
Yes,
So-
need to know the prompts right.
And but here the human element definitely will help in terms of where you actually, when you're competing with AI, this is one aspect where you can figure out the emotion behind their
Yes. Yes.
thought as to why you
Yes.
want a particular design.
So that's where your ChatGPT or the AI, if you ask the questions, so beforehand as to how would be their pattern of living, what is
Right.
their kind of aspect. That is where the AI comes into picture. So that helps to understanding their pattern better and delivering them to the best of the availability.
So is design does it enhance the value of a property, or it is just ego satisfying?
No, of course not. So it depends on what you term as design. So everybody and anybody you ask around the globe, how do you feel about having a home next to the sea, on the beach? 99.98% people will say it's fantastic.
Correct.
But you will still see some people who will say that no, I am very scared of that. That 0.02% is what you have to adhere to. So you have to look at it. So as a designer, you need to take that call. How do you work that? Like I mentioned earlier, also as a person into real estate or closer to that. I have stopped putting my own emotions into that. I try to find out as to what is that they are looking at as a customer. I mean, I'm sure even you, when you're doing the real
Correct.
estate this thing, because ours is a very closely related field and it
Correct.
goes hand in hand
Correct.
completely.
Yeah,
So,
I understand, because normally earlier what I've seen people, other brokers, what they do is this is good, this is good, this is bad, but it's very generic, right? So it's what's good for somebody is bad for someone else, and what's bad for somebody may be the ideal property for a particular person. So
absolutely.
so I get your point.
The best thing
So
to do-
consulting is where actually your is your niche, where
Yes.
you take inputs from the customer and then give them suggestions, rather than give them, this is your thought, so this is, design it like this.
So basically, it's like understanding the pattern and telling them that these is the color schemes or this is the design, concept that you need to go for. That's the mood board that you need to use. So that's the beauty of it, and that depends on the premise that you're living in.
Right.
That is how how do you open up with that. So there are certain people or the clientele that comes before buying a property. Come on, let's go. We want you to see as to which property should we buy.
Oh, okay.
along with the design, along with the real estate person, the broker, as to which is the best property.
Right.
There are the clients have done that. I mean, chalo hamare saath.
Normally, I've seen only people coming with Vastu guys, not architects or
No,
interiors.
Fortunately, so Vastu is of course one aspect to that. They
Right.
have their own understanding and study.
Absolutely.
But apart from that, this is also important. That this is our requirement. You are as an architect, as an interior architect, you know our requirements beforehand. So you tell us as to whether what we are buying will suffice that. So that's
Right.
so nice, and that is how the approach should be. And
Right.
they are relieved of their decision making. Like I am dependent on AI or any of the gadgets for certain elements. The clients can also be dependent on a consultant ki हाँ एक बार इनको बोल दिया, so I'll do my job better. Let me focus on that, and she will focus on her own job.
Right.
So it's so much a big thing.
Correct. That trust has to be built.
Yes, of course. The trust is important.
And one of your most challenging projects, where probably you said ki just now I have to give up, but you didn't.
Many a times the clients are tough more than the project. So yes, there are certain times. So the clients are tough. There was one site wherein the client was extremely difficult, and it was in the initial years. So you need to just come back and gather yourself and prepare the questionnaire, or
Right.
You need to change your own demeanor. Ki how you are presenting yourself. So many a times it happens. It's not a gender bias, though I'm not getting it here. As a woman, people feel that no, इनको तो technical कुछ आता नहीं होगा. So initially it used to happen कि नहीं technical चीज़ें पूछ के the client used to just purposely try to show that no, you don't know this, you don't know this. So firstly, yes, you have to prepare. So this has happened with me multiple times.
Right.
You have to learn. So as I said, you have to learn from the labor too, as to how is he sawing the wood. So you have to know that. You have to be very. You have to be a lifelong student. You have to learn that. So what I did was I did extra study, and not just on the technical aspect, on the way you are talking. So that is where emotional intelligence comes into picture.
Right.
So you have to learn certain techniques. You have to teach yourself how to be composed in whatever it is happening, and gather that at the end of the day, and make them realize that no, it is not that I am wrong. It's just the perspective that you are having it, and we can still go further. So there's nothing right and wrong on the site. It's just the perspective, because I am not the one to tell you that no, blue is wrong, blue is bad, or the pink is the right one. No, it's not like that. In the terms of any field, rather, I would say, these are just a choice.
Right.
So you need to convince the person that why better pink is important here than a particular shade of blue. So that convincing power needs some expertise, needs some technical knowledge, and you have to learn that. Emotional intelligence plays a very big role. You have to teach. So that is something that is taught, because I'm on this side of the table कि भाई ये सीखना पड़ेगा.
Right.
So that's how.
ऐसा कोई प्रोजेक्ट है कि नहीं मुझे नहीं करना है, लेफ्ट इट.
हाँ, many.
Okay.
If
Oh.
because yes, because you see that there is no respect. From because as a consultant you have to, any person who is doing, I mean, I work from the labor who is like maybe third or the fourth standard pass, very initial stages of his experience, and somebody is a client who is maybe like 1,000 crore and all that. In that range, if you're working and there is a respect, if I am giving the person the respect, so I expect the same. And if that it's that chemistry or that camaraderie is not there between the client and me, how can I serve him? That's not possible. I cannot just take the orders and ye karna. I might as well hire somebody, just take the orders and do it. So no issues. And there's no dearth of work as well. So from the client side also and from my side also, it's okay to leave a few of projects. So no problems about that.
So you prefer leaving a project than
Yes, respect comes first. So a budget can be worked out.
Okay.
Budget can be maneuvered. You can go step by step on that. There has to be that understanding between the client and the consultant that yes, things can be taken up further.
Like even I say, like, in our this thing that we don't sell houses. We just manage the egos of the both the parties,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
घर ऑलमोस्ट बाहर से तो सब सिमिलर ही है, स्पेशली इन सिटीज. तो यू जस्ट हैव टू मैनेज द ईगोज. सो
True.
रिस्पेक्ट जहाँ पर वो छूटता है तो देन द डील डजंट वर्क आउट.
Yes,
सो
yes.
इट स्टैंड्स ट्रू फॉर यू
It's
एज
the
वेल.
energy transfer that works. That energy transfer plays a very important role. And with so many years of experience, when you're seeing, a lot of different projects, a lot of different types of clients and all that, you come to know, yes, you would, whether you would go further for a project, or, how will this project go further on. So all that happens. So it's not just about a multi-party thing or something like that. The quantum of the project and all that also doesn't matter. So even if it's like a 10 or 15 lakh projects, it is still okay. I mean, like, okay, fine. They're like pleasure, because ऐसा नहीं है कि नहीं 1 करोड़ का काम होगा तभी
तभी हम
करेंगे.
करेंगे.
ऐसा नहीं है. लेकिन अगर हम 10 लाख का भी काम कर रहे हैं तो वो अच्छे से अगर होता है, एंड इफ द क्लाइंट इज रियली हैप्पी, nothing like it.
Correct.
They're happy, and it's not कि maybe immediately they'll give you the project. But 2 साल के बाद अगर जब वो बड़ा घर लेते हैं, तभी भी जब आपको वो याद करते हैं, that's a reward for you.
Correct.
That time they know कि okay, fine, I can rely on this person, I can rely on her, and we can take the things further. That's how the relation has to be, and वो रखना पड़ता है उसके लिए.
So what do you see the future of design? Like what's happening? Abhi, let's talk about cities like Thane, Mumbai. You spoke about climate. You spoke about ki design has to be conducive to the particular place. So now as we see that the houses are getting smaller and smaller. So what is the future of design? What do you think is going to happen in the next few years?
Yeah, so smart living is something like what I mentioned earlier. Smart living is coming into the homes, whatever the size of the homes that are there. Again, earlier there used to be a aspect of redesigning the home entirely. That now has taken a different turn. So redesigning, as in restructuring of the home, used to happen a lot earlier. Now that is restricted because of the type of construction that is happening. So we, especially in the cities like Mumbai or Thane and the places, but at the same time you have to get the essence of the home, whether they are into minimalistic approach or a maximalist approach, so color palette and all that still plays a bigger role. So there is still a difference between decoration and designing. So वो कुछ भी होवे तो भी, it is not about you're roaming around in a lot of cities, or you have a liking for buying a lot of stuff and putting it and all that. Designing is a step further.
Correct.
Having a passion for buying is one aspect, and why should I buy it and whether this will look good is the designing aspect. So for that, still there are designers required. So that's important. People should take a note of that.
Okay, let's lighten the mood.
True.
What kind of customers better? Men, women? Easier to work with?
Men are easier to work with.
Men are easier.
Yes, I mean, though in the field of designing and a lot of residences, places and all that, though a lot of my role models have been women, it is still, I would say, that men are better to work with. To a large extent, if the woman is sorted in terms of what she wants, how she wants to take it further and all that, it's great. It's very nice, and that is what is expected. But many a times, if you see that they're actually lost, they don't know what they want and all that, and at the same time they are not at the learning mode. I mean,
they
like,
don't want
okay,
to
fine.
understand
Yeah,
that.
they don't want to know as to what is what. Then it becomes a little difficult. So there are few men as well at the same time, like when I've done so many homes that are there. But unfortunately, women are still on the higher side.
You like to design smaller homes, bigger homes?
No, that doesn't matter, actually speaking. So it is about the designing one, and it is about the camaraderie between the client and this thing. It's very nice. Even it's a small, it's just a single room and all that. Many a times, like people just love that feeling of designing. So working with these kind of people is very nice. You suggest to them, and they're open for the ideas and all that. So yes, definitely that's a win-win thing. But that definitely again cannot be anywhere on the face of the earth. So अगर नजदीक है तो वो कर सकते हैं. But obviously a larger premise wherein the entire shell house is what you call that. So that's a good deal to work and to maneuver, to rework and of the spaces and all that. So that's a good, obviously a very nice long-term project that can work.
Any particular favorite city where you would like to work? We've worked in various cities, right? Hyderabad, I've heard.
Hyderabad,
Goa,
Bangalore,
Bombay,
Goa.
Pune.
Goa is one of the best ones.
Okay.
And Bombay, of course, because in Bombay the client are there's a vast difference between the clientele of Bombay and otherwise. So they are open for ideas. They know a lot of things. So the way they approach and all that, even for like suburbs also of Mumbai, have a changed approach. So that's definitely a good way to work with.
So let's say one of my customers is looking for a house, and so when is the right time he should approach you? Is it before buying, during when he goes to see some houses, or once he's shortlisted some houses, or after buying is the time that he should connect with you?
The ideal time I would say is before he plans to buy a property, because a lot of things are involved when you are buying a home. So like in your case also, you would obviously say the area as to which they are living in and all that. So but for a designer or an expert into the interiors of the place for the home especially, when you are thinking about that beforehand, the person needs to think about whether he actually needs to go and what kind of a premise is he expecting. Is it only the exterior view, or is it only the location, or basically there has to be a forethought कि 5 साल के बाद क्या होने वाला है या 10 साल के बाद कैसे होगा. एक थोड़ा सा forethought होना ज़रूरी है. So अगर आप उसी वक्त अगर थोड़ा इंटरेक्शन करते हो डिज़ाइनर के साथ, तो दैट्स डेफिनेटली अ बिग थिंग. Why, you would ask me? So the answer is a holistic approach is important. घर जैसी बात आप बदलना नहीं चाहते हो, especially with the kind of the changes that you're doing. It's not just picking up some clothes and going elsewhere. You're doing investing not just money, you're investing a lot of time. अगर वो होने वाला है तो आप जल्दी घर तो नहीं बदलने वाले हो. तो एक घर में लगभग 5 साल को अगर आपको रहना है तो ये सारे एस्पेक्ट्स आपको देखना ज़रूरी है. सो एक एटलीस्ट 1 मीटिंग विद द कंसल्टेंट वुड बी ग्रेट. It's a very nice thing. As a designer, we can start immediately, once that is there, or some few properties are shortlisted, or 3 or 4, like, okay, there are few clients who have done actually, we have shortlisted these properties, and just come and have a look at it, because you'll know as to what our liking is, how our approach is, how we live especially. So is it appropriate? So that time as an expert, yes, we can come and give our, liking for the place, and in terms of maybe the layout, or what are the possibilities that are there. To give you an example, many a times it so happens that you are looking out or shifting to a new place because there is a newborn coming in, so but then it is too chaotic around, or there is no place to play around. So or maybe something like the final aspect of the home would be is there a playing corner that the child can have. So if these places cannot be carved, then ideally you might have look for some other place. So all these final aspects would be a nice thing to do.
Right. So once somebody shortlists, they should definitely connect with you and
it's
say
an
that
ideal time.
time. That would be ideal time.
Yes.
How about commercial spaces and industrial spaces?
Commercial spaces and industrial, the same thing applies, because many a times commercial spaces depends actually on what size you're looking at. Okay, so if it is say for maybe
let's say the general thing, what the latest I've seen is they've started making boutique offices about 350 to 500
So
square
the
feet.
same rule applies there also,
And,
because it applies
la-
more so, because if it's like a boutique once, maybe say 500 to 1000 square feet.
Right.
So what is that aspect? Because with the online, world much more, so is that what you're looking at? That most of your staff would be working online. So then a smaller office. The second aspect that you need to see, that whether the client would be actually walking into your office, or this is just a place for you to sit
work.
across. So accordingly the layout changes, accordingly the way you will shortlist the premise would change, and then you would treat it immediately. So
Right.
that goes out like that. For the industrial ones, again, it's the same thing. Connectivity becomes a very crucial thing. There are certain norms that you have to follow when it is an industrial one, or even a small workshop. Also, if you're looking out for, say, 500 or 1000 square feet, you're planning to have a workshop.
Right.
So when you're doing that, whether it is actually possible, because many times it so happens that you have shortlisted that premise, you know what the utility is, you have cracked the deal, or many times you've forgotten to tell that to the broker, or and that building might not be allowing you to perform that. So
Right.
then that is not a right aspect. So you need to know beforehand whether this activity, any commercial activity, or the say a workshop, or an industrial stuff that you're planning to do, whether it is actually possible in that premise. Because there are certain norms in terms of the civil work, the structural strength that is important. There is a noise element that is important.
Right.
All this aspect has to be, apart from the legal things that are there, you have to adhere to that.
Talking about this legality, so many customers I've seen, they want a larger space, but what they do is, instead of buying a 4-bedroom apartment, they buy two units of 2 bedrooms, and they want to break the walls. And what is your thought on that? What is your suggestion?
Um, um, it's not a bad thing to do.
Okay.
There is more scope for design for that matter. But again, the same thing. If beforehand, if you're speaking to the designer, it is always the better thing to do.
Right.
So that you know,
Which walls can be broken?
Yes. So that plays a very crucial role. If you know beforehand that you want to amalgamate those two flats,
Right.
and if there is a big, huge column in between,
Right.
because nowadays there are these 8 feet, 7 feet walls that are there, the concrete columns that are there.
Correct.
So then whatever you had planned is not possible.
Right.
So it is not just the vastu aspect that is coming in picture. This is a practical problem, because obviously you will not be able to break the column, or remove anything, or make a
Agreed.
puncture here and there. That's not possible, and that is not expected for you to do. So beforehand you need to know these little things. You have to take care whether when you are amalgamating this, if it's an older building, then whether you will be allowed to do certain changes. That's also important aspect, whether the building will take the new changes. So is there something called as a civil audit that is taken into picture.
Right.
If the building has taken up that audit, and you have that report with you, and if it says that yes, you can go further with certain structural changes and all that, structural changes as in rearranging of the walls and all that, though you as a designer, you should be very clear as to you're not putting an extra weight on the slab. These aspects are considered. At the same time, if this is not permitted, the structurally not permitted, it is not
Right.
just the society who is not adhering to or saying no, but the structurally, if it is not permitted and you still want to, you can't go for that. So it's good to go a little step beforehand, make all these surveys, make all these research when you are buying the property, when you are planning to amalgamate. Otherwise, surely you can go that if you get the go ahead for all these ones, and you're good to go.
Okay. Any last thoughts before, that about design, about real estate, about the trends, anything that comes to your mind?
The new trends that are coming into picture right now are to be looked up to. So the times are challenging, is what I would say. A new world, a new era is coming. There is some talks about vertical cities that are into picture nowadays. Along with the smart living, there are infrastructure changes that are happening. So there is a big, scope of work for real estate people and for designers to understand that, to teach themselves and take it to the next level. Something, so we need to keep learning lifelong and understand how can we upgrade our living standards, how are we going to do that, keeping the roots, keeping the earthen pots and the vessels intact, the food quality intact, and the living aspect together. How can we upgrade ourselves, to and live holistically? So that's going to be a very challenging times, I would say. I mean, it's not difficult though, but we have to teach ourselves, educate ourselves, and the future generation. It's not just learning some softwares or the few prompts to understand that. You have to holistically look at it, how the pattern of living is changing.
So not everything is design. Some is basic utility, and some
Yes.
there are some
Yes.
things
So,
which are like
yes. So when you are talking about the vertical cities have been designed especially closer to the working places. So they will be hand in hand. So the infrastructure load, as in the travel time, might lesser, become less and less in the future, because the where we are living in here, and the workplace is close by. So what more can you ask for? So that pattern would be different. That we will be going through that, and we will be staying in the vertical places.
right.
So new good times to come, and we just need to keep watching, especially in the urban areas like Mumbai or the larger spaces that are there. That will be a good ones. So we have got, both of us have got a lot of work
To do. Thank you, Sonali. It's been really wonderful. This became a discussion and just rolled on so naturally. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you, Malay, from Caliac Studios, who's made this possible. And do connect with us and our viewers, if you know who the best designer is now. So, architect Sonali
you.
Gandre.
Thank you, Samir. Thank you for having me here, and that was a great discussion that we had. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
All the best for your future.
Thank you so much.